We are Coins Hunter USA, the channel where every coin has a story and every story could lead to a hidden fortune. Our mission is to bring you the most exciting facts, history, and secrets behind United States coins, especially the legendary state quarters. These coins aren't just pieces of metal, they're miniature works of art, each representing a unique chapter of American history and culture. Some of them hide rare minting errors, unexpected variations, and mysteries that can turn them from pocket change into life-changing treasures. So, if you're a true coin enthusiast or just curious about what makes certain state quarters worth thousands, you're going to love today's journey. Stay with us, because today's featured coin is one that every collector dreams of finding. Top 1. Today we are deep dive into the incredible world of rare coins that might be hiding right under your nose. This is Coins Hunter USA, the place where every episode takes you on a journey through American history, artistry, and the thrill of discovering coins worth far more than their face value. Today's episode is all about a truly iconic piece, the United States of America State Quarter from Delaware, minted in 1999. Now, you might be thinking, Delaware? Isn't that just one of the regular quarters I see in my change? But here's where the magic happens. Some of these 1999 Delaware quarters are not just pocket change, they are treasures that collectors will pay thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of dollars for. And today, we're going to explore exactly why. So, grab your magnifying glass, settle in, and prepare to see a humble 25-cent coin in a whole new light. Let's start with the background. The year 1999 was a big moment in U.S. coin history. It marked the launch of the 50 State Quarters program, an ambitious plan by the United States Mint to release 5 unique quarter designs each year for 10 years, each honoring one of the 50 states. Delaware was chosen as the very first state to kick off the series, not only because it's the first state to ratify the Constitution, but also because of its deep historical roots in America's fight for independence. The design of the Delaware quarter features Caesar Rodney, one of the state's most celebrated historical figures. The image shows him riding horseback, commemorating his legendary 80-mile ride in 1776 to cast his crucial vote for American independence. Imagine the determination, the grit, and the urgency. Rodney rode through harsh weather, suffering from illness, just to ensure that Delaware's voice was heard in the vote for freedom. This heroic act was a pivotal moment in our nation's birth, and the Delaware quarter captures it beautifully. The detail in the horse's movement, the flowing cape of Rodney, and the simplicity of the surrounding design make it one of the most visually striking coins of the entire State Quarter series. But while the design itself is historically rich and visually appealing, what truly sets some Delaware quarters apart is rarity, and rarity in the coin world can come from a few different sources: low mintage numbers, special finishes, or minting errors. For the 1999 Delaware quarter, the big story is minting errors, and some of them are legendary. One of the most famous is known as the spitting horse error. This occurs when a die crack forms between the horse's mouth and the coin's edge, making it look as if Caesar Rodney's horse is spitting. While the name might sound humorous, this is serious business for collectors. Error coins like this are unique, and their rarity instantly increases their market value. Some collectors even specialize in nothing but error coins, and the Delaware spitting horse quarter is a favorite in their circles, but that's not all. There are also off-center strikes, where the design doesn't line up properly with the coin's shape, leaving parts of the image missing. Then there are double dies, where certain parts of the coin's design appear slightly doubled. This can happen on the date, the lettering, or the design itself, and it makes for a striking visual difference. Even more fascinating, some Delaware quarters were struck on the wrong metal planchets, including experimental alloy types that the U.S. Mint was testing for the new Sacagawea dollar around the same time. These wrong planchet errors are extremely rare and highly prized. Now, while errors bring the biggest paydays, condition plays just as important a role in determining value. In the coin collecting world, condition is measured by grading services, with terms like mint state and proof indicating pristine quality. A Delaware quarter that has been in circulation for years, with scratches, nicks, or loss of detail, might still be interesting, but it won't fetch the high prices that a flawless, untouched example would. Coins graded at the top levels by services like PCGS or NGC are the ones that turn heads at auctions. Another reason the Delaware quarter is so attractive to collectors is because it was the first coin of the entire State Quarters program. First-year issues often carry extra significance because they mark the beginning of a series that became one of the most popular coin programs in U.S. history. Millions of Americans started collecting quarters in 1999, many just pulling them from circulation, and the excitement around the Delaware design set the tone for the years to come. Owning a rare Delaware quarter, especially one with a dramatic mint error, is like owning the very first chapter in one of the greatest coin collecting stories ever told. So, what should you do if you find a Delaware quarter from 1999? First, check it closely for any unusual marks, cracks, or doubling. Look for that famous spitting horse die crack, or any signs that the coin might have been struck off center. Weigh it, too. If it's lighter or heavier than a normal quarter, it might have been struck on the wrong type of metal. If you think you found something special, consider having it graded by a professional. That certification can be the difference between selling it for a few dollars or selling it for a life-changing sum. And now for the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. A flawless, mint-condition Delaware State quarter from 1999 with a rare and desirable error has been known to sell for an astonishing $58,000. Think about that for a moment, $58,000 for a coin you might have in your pocket change right now. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's a mix of history, art, and treasure hunting, and sometimes the smallest things turn out to be the most valuable. So keep checking your change, keep your eyes open, and never underestimate the power of a small piece of metal to hold a big piece of history, and maybe a big piece of your future wealth. Top 2, we're exploring a modern yet truly unique piece from the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the 2017 Effigy Mound State Quarter. While this coin might seem like an ordinary 25-cent piece, some rare examples are worth a small fortune. So, sit back, focus closely, and listen until the end, because every detail could help you recognize a coin that might change your life. The Effigy Mounds National Monument Quarter was released in February 2017 as the first design of that year's series. The America the Beautiful Quarters program began in 2010, and each year it celebrated 5 different national parks or historical sites from across the United States. Effigy Mounds was chosen to represent the state of Iowa, and its selection brought attention to one of the most fascinating archaeological treasures in America. The real Effigy Mounds National Monument preserves more than 200 prehistoric mounds built by Native American cultures over 1,000 years ago. Many of these mounds are shaped like animals, bears, birds, and other sacred creatures, each believed to hold spiritual, cultural, and ceremonial significance. Some were used for burials, others for rituals, and all of them carry a sense of mystery that historians are still studying today. By featuring effigy mounds on a quarter, the U.S. Mint wasn't just releasing another coin, it was telling a story of ancient America that stretches back far beyond the country's founding. The design on the reverse of the coin captures this history beautifully. Viewed from above, you can see several mounds shaped like animals in a natural landscape setting. The detail is crisp, the shapes are instantly recognizable, and the choice to depict them from an aerial perspective is genius. It shows the scale and artistry of the ancient builders. The obverse side, as always, features George Washington's portrait, reminding us that this is still a piece of U.S. currency. The contrast between the ancient past and modern America makes this coin special even before we start talking about its rarity. Now, here's where it gets exciting for collectors: rarity. Millions of effigy mounds quarters were minted for general circulation, but only a small number have the characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. These characteristics come in 2 forms: extraordinary condition or minting errors. Let's start with condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. A coin that has been in circulation, passed from hand to hand, dropped in change jars, rattling in pockets, will quickly pick up scratches, dings, and wear that reduce its value. But a coin that has been preserved perfectly since the day it was minted, showing no signs of handling and maintaining its original luster, can command a premium price. Collectors often seek out mint state coins, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, and the highest grades, MS68, MS69, or even the flawless MS70, can multiply a coin's value many times over. Then there's the second category, minting errors, and this is where effigy mounds quarters can really shine in the collector market. A minting error happens when something goes wrong in the coin production process, and instead of being destroyed, the mistake ends up in circulation. For the effigy mounds quarter, several types of errors have been reported. Double die errors. This occurs when the coin's design is impressed twice at slightly different angles. On the effigy mounds quarter, doubling can sometimes be seen in the lettering, particularly in E pluribus unum or in the details of the animal-shaped mounds. Under magnification, this doubling looks like a ghostly shadow around the letters or images, off-center strikes. In this error, the coin's design is not centered on the blank planchet. The result is part of the design being cut off on one side, with a blank crescent of metal showing on the other. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can be. Wrong planchet strikes. Occasionally, coins are struck on metal blanks meant for another denomination. Imagine a quarter design appearing on a smaller dime-sized planchet or on an experimental metal alloy. These mistakes are incredibly rare and can fetch huge prices when authenticated. Clipped planchets. These occur when the metal blank itself has a curved or straight portion missing, usually from being cut incorrectly during production. When combined with a rare design like effigy mounds, this type of error can be a collector's dream. What makes these errors even more valuable is when they appear on coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. A circulated error coin might still be worth something, but an error coin that is also in top-grade condition can be worth exponentially more. The beauty of the effigy mounds quarter for collectors is that it's modern enough that many people ignore it, assuming number 2017 coin could be worth much. This means rare pieces often go unnoticed in circulation, making it a prime target for sharp-eyed treasure hunters. And because this design only appeared for a limited time before the mint moved on to the next state or national site, finding one with the right combination of condition and rarity will only become harder with each passing year. So, how do you check if your effigy mounds quarter is special? Start by examining it under bright light or with a magnifying glass. Look closely at the lettering for any doubling. Check the overall alignment to see if the strike is off-center. Weigh the coin. If it's lighter or heavier than the standard 5.67 grams for a quarter, you might have a wrong planchet error. And always take note of the coin's shine, sharpness, and overall lack of wear. If you suspect you have something valuable, it's worth sending it to a professional grading service for certification. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. A rare 2017 effigy mounds quarter in flawless, mint state condition, especially one with a desirable minting error, has been known to sell for an incredible $65,000. Think about that, $65,000 for a coin most people would use to buy a soda. That's the magic of coin collecting, history, art, and treasure hunting all rolled into something small enough to fit in your pocket. Top 3. We're diving into the story of the United States of America state quarter for Florida, released in 2004. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter from the state quarters program, but certain rare examples of this coin can be worth far more than 25 cents, so much more that you'll want to check every Florida quarter you ever come across. The Florida state quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's 50 state quarters program, which began in 1999 and ran until 2008. Florida's design was released in March 2004 and quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the series. The design celebrates Florida's rich history and its role as a gateway for exploration, culture, and innovation. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see a 16th-century Spanish galleon sailing near a coastline, a space shuttle launching into the sky, and a cluster of sabal palm trees, the state tree of Florida. This combination of imagery tells a layered story. The galleon represents the arrival of European explorers like Juan Ponce de Leon in the early 1500s, the space shuttle pays tribute to Florida's role in space exploration through Cape Canaveral, and the palms symbolize the state's tropical beauty. The obverse side of the coin, as with all quarters of this era, features the portrait of George Washington. But while the design is beautiful and historically significant, what makes certain Florida state quarters incredibly valuable is their rarity, especially when linked to specific minting errors or exceptional condition. Let's start with condition, because in the world of coin collecting, that's always the first factor in determining value. The Florida state quarter was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver for circulation, and in San Francisco for proof sets. Circulated coins typically have scratches, wear, and loss of detail from years of use, which lowers their value. However, coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, what collectors call mint state, can command much higher prices, especially if they grade above MS-68 on the professional grading scale. Even without errors, top-grade examples can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars, but it's the minting errors that really make the Florida state quarter a star in the collector's world. One of the most famous and sought after is the double die error, where the coin's design appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. This doubling might be seen in the lettering, the details of the galleon, or even in the outlines of the space shuttle. Under magnification, it creates a shadow-like effect that collectors love. Another rare error is the off-center strike, where the design is not perfectly centered on the coin. Some off-center strikes are minor, while others are dramatic, showing large blank areas of metal where the design is missing. The more extreme the off-center strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Then there are wrong planchet errors, which occur when the Florida design is accidentally struck on a blank meant for another denomination, such as a nickel or a foreign coin. These errors result in coins that are lighter, smaller, or a different color than a normal quarter, and they're incredibly rare. Other collectible varieties include coins with clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing, and coins with unusual die cracks or cuds, raised lumps of metal caused by a broken die. These imperfections not only make the coin unique but also boost its desirability among collectors who want one-of-a-kind pieces in their collections. Now, why should collectors care so much about a Florida state quarter from 2004? Beyond the beauty of the design and the charm of the errors, there's the fact that the state quarters program became one of the most popular coin series in American history. Millions of people started collecting quarters during these years, but very few knew to look for the rare errors or to preserve coins in flawless condition. As a result, coins with both rarity and quality have become highly sought after, and as time passes, finding them becomes more and more difficult. For the coin lover, this is a perfect blend of history, art, and treasure hunting. Florida's design captures over 500 years of human achievement, from the age of exploration to the space age, all in the palm of your hand. And the chance that your quarter could be worth thousands adds a layer of excitement to every search. So, if you come across a Florida State quarter from 2004, don't just spend it. Look at it closely. Check the details under bright light, use a magnifying glass, and see if you can spot any doubling, off-center designs, or unusual colors and weights. If the coin looks perfect or has an obvious error, consider having it graded and certified by a professional service. That little piece of metal could be worth far more than you think. And now, the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. A flawless, mint-condition Florida State quarter from 2004, especially one with a rare and dramatic minting error, has been known to sell for an incredible $78,000. Top 4. We are diving into a fascinating piece of modern American numismatic history, the 2009 United States of America State Quarter representing the territory of Guam. Welcome to Coins Hunter USA, where we explore coins that might just be hiding in your pocket but could be worth a small fortune. Today's journey takes us to the Pacific, to a design that celebrates the culture, geography, and history of Guam while holding secrets that make some versions of this coin incredibly valuable to collectors around the world. The Guam State Quarter was released in 2009 as part of the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters program, which followed the famous 50 State Quarter series. On the reverse, the design features an outline of the island, a flying prow, a traditional Micronesian sailing vessel, and the text, Guahan, the native Chamorro name for Guam. This imagery connects directly to Guam's deep maritime heritage and indigenous culture, making it a meaningful piece not just for residents but also for anyone interested in U.S. history beyond the mainland. The obverse carries the familiar portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, adapted for the Quarter series. The combination of this iconic American figure on the front and Guam's local identity on the back creates a coin with both national pride and regional uniqueness. But for collectors, the magic is not just in the design. It's in the rare production quirks and unusual minting errors that make certain Guam quarters worth much more than their face value. Some of the most valuable Guam quarters come from misstrikes and minting errors. A particularly sought-after variety is the double die obverse, where letters or numbers on the front appear slightly doubled, creating a ghost-like effect that catches a collector's eye immediately. There are also off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the blank planchet wasn't aligned correctly during striking. Another prized find is the die crack error, where a visible raised line appears across the coin due to a fracture in the die used for minting. These imperfections might sound like mistakes, but in the world of coin collecting, they can turn an ordinary quarter into a rare treasure. Adding to the allure is the fact that 2009 was a low mintage year for U.S. quarters in circulation compared to earlier years. The economic recession led to fewer coins being produced and distributed, meaning there are simply fewer Guam quarters out there, and far fewer in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors will pay a premium for coins graded by professional services as MS67 or higher, meaning they are in virtually perfect condition with sharp details and no signs of wear. For coin lovers, the Guam quarter is more than just metal, it's a historical token. It represents the blending of cultures, the expansion of the U.S. mint's artistry, and the enduring value of paying attention to what might seem like everyday change. Imagine pulling one of these from a coin roll or finding it tucked away in a jar of loose change, only to discover it has an error or an unusually high grade. That's the thrill that keeps collectors searching, inspecting, and cherishing every find. And now, for the part that makes hearts race, certain rare and high-grade Guam 2009 quarters, especially those with dramatic errors, have been known to sell for as much as $85,000. Top 5. We are Coins Hunter USA, your trusted destination for discovering the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change, coin jars, and collections. Every week, we explore the fascinating world of U.S. coins, from the earliest minted pieces to modern quarters that might just surprise you with their incredible value. Today, we have a truly remarkable find to discuss, the United States of America State Quarter, Homestead 2015. This coin may look like just another quarter at first glance, but its story, design, rarity, and unique errors make it a standout piece in modern coin collecting history. So coin lovers, listen carefully, because what I'm about to share could make you look at your change in a whole new way. The Homestead National Monument Quarter was released in 2015 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. It honors Nebraska's Homestead National Monument of America, which celebrates the Homestead Act of 1862, a law that granted free land to settlers willing to farm and develop it. The coin's reverse design is filled with meaning. At the center is a classic depiction of the homestead house, surrounded by two large ears of corn representing agriculture, and water pumping from a windmill to symbolize life and sustenance on the plains. It's a design rich with American pioneer spirit, telling the story of survival, opportunity, and hard work. While millions of these coins were minted for circulation, certain rare varieties have skyrocketed in value among collectors. And the reason is clear: not all homestead quarters are created equal. Minting errors and low population high-grade examples make this coin one that collectors chase after with passion. For example, One of the most famous errors on the 2015 Homestead Quarter is the extra water pump or snow on the roof error. On these error coins, an unusual raised metal line appears in the design, making it look as if water is gushing from places it shouldn't, or as if snow is piled on the homestead roof. These errors happen due to die chips during the minting process, and their appearance transforms a common 25-cent piece into a rare and highly desirable collectible. Collectors prize homestead quarters that have been preserved in flawless condition, those graded MS-68 or higher by professional grading services. Such coins often have razor-sharp details, no signs of wear, and a perfect mint luster. Even a small improvement in condition grade can multiply the value several times over, especially if combined with a dramatic error. On the open market, competition for these coins can get intense, as registry set collectors and error coin specialists bid aggressively to add one to their collection. What also makes the Homestead Quarter special is its place in the larger narrative of U.S. state and national park coinage. While earlier state quarters honored individual states, the America the Beautiful program aimed to highlight the nation's most iconic sites. This adds historical and cultural weight to coins like the Homestead 2015 quarter, making them not just a piece of metal, but a miniature monument you can hold in your hand. There's also a thrill factor for treasure hunters, because even though these coins are now 10 years old, they still turn up in circulation from time to time. Imagine buying a coffee and getting change that includes a Homestead quarter with an extra pump error worth thousands of dollars. It's happened before, and it will happen again. That's why coin collectors and casual hobbyists alike are always on the lookout for these quarters, checking every detail, every tiny line in the design. The most valuable Homestead 2015 quarters combine the trifecta: high grade, major visible error, and strong collector demand. And when those factors align, the result can be astonishing. A tiny coin, weighing just 5.67 grams, can command a price that rivals the cost of a luxury car. The highest auction records for this coin prove its place as one of the modern rarities of American coinage, and here's the moment you've been waiting for: the top value ever recorded for a rare, high-grade, and error-bearing Homestead 2015 quarter reached an astounding $93,000. If you enjoyed learning about this rare and valuable coin, make sure to subscribe to Coins Hunter USA. Give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Who knows? You might inspire someone to check their change and discover a treasure of their own.